This is something that honestly requires 6 months to 9 months of work. Like you do little by little, 5, 10 things a week maybe. And then some of them you need to come back and say, all right, it's been a week. Have they removed it? No, let me do it again. So some things will take more time to do. But this is your own personal privacy. It took you years, maybe a decade to get this stuff on the internet. You think 5 minutes or a month is enough to get it off the internet? No, it's gonna take time. So all the options I present to you are free ways to do credit monitoring. As an example, like Equifax will give you 1 year of free credit monitoring on their website, but if you mail in your documents with a form, they'll give it to you for 7 years for free. So you don't have to do it every year. So these little tricks, people don't tell you that.
No.
And I've mentioned them on the website, and they're just links. So again, I'm not storing any of your data in here. It's just links. You did your task, you check the box and say, boom, done. Your score changes, your task list kind of changes, and that's it. Move on to the next one. So I'm really not storing anything about you.
Your security just needs to be better than your neighbors. It's kind of like the
dummy camera thing. This actually works. When I was building my own house, I had just the rough structure up and ready. No power, no internet, nothing. I had lots of workers there. And my builder told me people steal a lot of stuff from your job site, and this is expensive equipment. So I put a $10 dummy camera, dome camera, which had a battery that blinked a red little light. And I just put it up in the front and the back, and the workers were there, and they're like, oh, you got cameras? I'm like, yep, I'm watching you. And they're like, man, this guy is like next level.
When your email address is involved in a data breach, it's not easy to simply change your email address or use another one because you may have been using that email for many, many years. Instead, you just change your password. Changing your email is too much work. Now, 2/3 of Britons would prefer to lose their passport than their email. But even if you change your password after a breach, you're still at risk. The best way to protect yourself is to actually never give your email address away. With ProtonPass, you can create an email alias to sign up anywhere online. Continue to receive emails in your inbox and keep your real address private. If your alias does get leaked, dark web monitoring alerts you, and you can disable that alias very, very easily. ProtonPass is more than a password manager, it's an identity manager. It keeps your passwords, logins, cards, and notes encrypted. Autofill helps guard you against phishing and keyloggers, and you get a built-in 2FA authenticator plus passkey support for secure passwordless logins. For advanced defense on premium plans, Proton Sentinel uses AI and a dedicated cybersecurity team to protect your data even if one of your passwords is compromised. Proton is community funded, operates from Switzerland, and you can start with a ProtonPass subscription at only $2.99 a month. Get ProtonPass today for 40% off using my link, proton.me/David Bombal.
Hey everyone, David Bombal coming to you from Black Hat. Mishaal, great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Great to meet you in person, by the way.
Yeah.
And you are one of those scary guys. Last time you were showing us how to find information about people, like really worrying. And we said, we've got to get you back to show us the other side, right? So how can I, like, for instance, remove my data or, be more private? So take us on the journey, man. You got to show us your website and show us the tools you got available.
Yeah, there's so many things I want to discuss and talk about when you do the anti-OSINT or anti-OSINT part of this stuff, which is privacy essentially. So the more you know about how to dig for information, the more you know how to get rid of it. So I created this free website, free tool called OperationPrivacy.com. And I kind of put all my trade secrets in it, everything I've learned over the years on so how to get rid of information, how to do holistic privacy. So this is not just deleting information online, but this is everything else on how to have good holistic cyber privacy and security habits.
I think we're going to get you back for a series, man, because I think there's a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to emphasize this is a free website, right? I just have to sign up.
Yeah, you have to sign up. It's free. And it's basically a glorified checklist. I had this on an Excel sheet first to keep track of all the things I've done and haven't done. And then I basically made the Excel sheet into a dashboard, a platform, so everyone else would have their own version of this to track their progress.
That's great.
Because for me, that was the most difficult thing to do. It's like 400 things I need to do. How do I track my progress? And people give up. So that's why I made the website.
So have you got examples where you can do some low-hanging fruit, some easy things? Because it's exactly that, right? If you go down this rabbit hole, it's it's impossible. So start easier, but then as you get better and better,
Yeah. So what I did was exactly your concept. So I have 3 tiers or 3 levels of privacy in here. So it's 1, 2, 3, or I call it conscious, serious, and ghost. So
I like that.
if you're conscious about privacy, here, do these 50 things. And once you're on a serious level, do a few more things. And if you really want to be a ghost, and I don't recommend everyone for that level, do a few more things. So it's like that.
So for you, I got to put you on the spot. You'd ghost?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have your photo on the line at all, right?
Well, I try to remove it. Just today, somebody posted it online. I had another interview and I had to email them and say, could you please take it down and just put like a smiley face on it? And I do this not because I just want my photo off. Like I'm on videos. Anyone can take my picture from there. I do it to prove a point that you can remove anything from the internet and you control the internet. The internet doesn't control you. So it's just that challenge.
I'm glad you said that because I think for a lot of us today, it feels like, where do you even start?
Agreed.
So enough talking, show some of the options.
Yeah, so this is the dashboard. This is what it looks like. And remember, this came out of an Excel sheet. So I have categories on the left here. I have things you need to do first, like prerequisites. So this is mostly US-centric. So before I get all the hate in the comments and stuff, this is mostly for the US because I live in the US and most of the privacy violations happen in the US. And again, whoever's watching this who's not in the US can take the same concept and apply it to their own country. Things like credit freezes. We have something called, the credit bureaus in the US. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Half of them have been breached and the data is out there. What my dashboard basically shows is there's not just 3 credit unions. There's so many others, Innovis and your kids' credits reports and, Clarity and DataX, whatever. A lot of these unknown places. And you just click on these links. Like the first link is what the website is. And then the second link here is how to remove yourself from it, or the action link, like here's how you do a credit freeze. It takes you straight to that long URL.
That's correct.
Where you would have otherwise struggled to find it. So I'm just showing you URLs. And then what date you opted out or did that action, some notes attached to it. You can click on the notes section and say, all right, some phone numbers here or some procedures you'll see every now and then, step 1, 2, 3. And then if it doesn't apply to you, you just click on this toggle button, applies to me or doesn't apply to me, or ignore it. And then what that does is it kind of keeps a track on top of your score, completed, how many tasks have been completed, and what's my privacy score based on things I've done. What I do here is I give an arbitrary number between 1 and 5 on how much it impacts your privacy. 1 being, it's okay for your privacy. It makes a difference, but not as much. 5 is it really makes a dent on your privacy. It's good. So start with the 5s first. And so multiple ways to kind of categorize this. Start with things that are conscious, then serious, then ghost, and then within them start with the high number of values here. And that's how you get the most bang for your buck.
What is a credit freeze though? So what am I doing when I go to Experian or whatever? Does it just mean that people can't do queries against my details, or what does it mean?
So if somebody opens up a bank account in your name, they need a social security number.
So it's like locking it.
Yeah, your date of birth, your name, and all these things are obtainable. But if you freeze your credit at the credit bureaus, they won't be able to get a car under your name, a credit, a line of credit under your name, unless you approve it first. They'll give you a call, or you have to go on the website and unfreeze it or thaw it for a week or whatever, and then you'll be able to do it. So a lot of data is stolen because of that. So best practice is freeze it.
It's funny. I always tell the story. I mean, in the UK, it's so easy for people to take credit out on other people if you don't do this. So it's amazing the stories where people just your name and your address, and they just go and take credit cards out or whatever in your name. It's crazy.
Yeah, basic fraud stuff, and this will protect you from that.
Yeah.
And then credit monitoring, there's all these websites you can pay, but this is all free. All the options I present to you are free ways to do credit monitoring. As an example, Equifax will give you 1 year of free credit monitoring on their website, but if you mail in your documents with a form, they'll give it to you for 7 years for free. So you don't have to do it every year. So these little tricks, people don't tell you that.
No.
And I've mentioned them on the website, and they're just links. So again, I'm not storing any of your data in here. It's just links. You did your task, you check the box and say, boom, done. Your score changes, your task list kind of changes, and that's it. Move on to the next one. So I'm really not storing anything about you.
Yeah, I mean, we could just sign up with one of our emails so that...
Not even email, just anything. Random username, random password, and just you have your version of the dashboard. I'm
really glad you're doing that. So you're following your own advice, right? Don't put your confidential information to a million websites. So that's great. I'm glad you're doing that. That's great.
And it's just maintained by me, and I
you're not doing this for money. You're doing this as a service.
Not at all. In fact, on the website, you'll see on the front page, it'll say $9 a year. I only put that because a lot of people complain and said, hey, you're the one who said if it's free, you are the product. So I'm like, all right, you know what? It's $9 a year. It's not completely free for the ghost tier, for not the other tiers. But if you just message me, I'll just bypass that and just even, forego the $9. And that I mention is for the AWS fees and the programmer. I pay a couple of $1,000 a year to maintain this stuff. And I don't ask for anyone's money. I don't need it. It's just, this is a professional platform.
That's great.
But the bulk of this is data removal. So once you've done like kind of the prerequisites, have a password manager, do some of the other OPSEC items I asked to do, the bulk of your work will be under opt-outs. Because when people talk about privacy and say, I want to disappear from the internet, they usually think, oh, my information is all on all these data broker websites. Like here you see hundreds like Spokeo, Intelius, and blah, blah, blah. They keep going on and on. They all have some version of your name, if you've lived in the US, your home address, your phone number, your email address. And my technique here is basically the OSINT technique. I provide links on each and say, look yourself up. If you find yourself there, the opt-out link is there. And what these sneaky websites do is they'll have the opt-out link at, let's say, spokeo.com/opt-out. Then after a few months, they'll change it to /opt-out, then /man. So they're actually fighting people like me because they don't want people to opt out. But by law, they have to abide by it. But they can make it difficult. So I track these things and I keep changing links here if they change it. And things break all the time. So I tell people, if something breaks, let me know, I'll fix it.
That's terrible.
So there's so many to track through. Some are like the large data brokers, some are the smaller ones. And I've kind of tried to categorize them into common, premium, some that require maybe a sign up first and then they'll opt you out. Some are business listings. Other require you to give them their ID first, like the really big ones like LexisNexis is really huge here. Even for investigators, to give you an example, it's like $5,000 or something for a PI to even have a LexisNexis account, but you can have your own information removed for free from LexisNexis, but you just have to like mail in your actual ID, unredacted, and then they'll verify it and then they'll remove you from that list. So there's a method for every single website, and I kind of mention it in details here under the notes tab here, like fill out the form, SSN not required, or no confirmation sent, or it is sent, or if you have trouble, do this or do that. So there's like little tricks everywhere, and all of these have different methods. I tried to automate this, but I couldn't because some websites have a form to fill out with a CAPTCHA. Some take 5 days to reply to you. Some have an email address saying, email us your link where you found your information. We'll remove it manually. Others are just click and it's actually removed. You refresh the page. So everything is different. So it's hard to kind of set a certain standard on here's how you remove your information. No, and that's why I have such a glorified list.
But I mean, this is a lot of manual work, right?
It is. It's all manual work. And
so what's your opinion about companies that say they can do this automatically? And there's a few of them out there.
Companies that say that they can do this, they can do a very small subset of this. I would say less than 10% of what I'm doing, they can maybe come close to doing. But I've tried quite a few of them. I've signed up for like demo accounts for them. I've paid the $20 or whatever a month, and I gave him like a random name of someone who was actually on one of these websites like Fast People Search or Spokeo or something, just to test if they actually remove it.
Yeah.
And in my experience, they didn't remove it because there was that same person, let's say John Doe, living in Hollywood, California. There was like 50 of them on that one website with different date of birth. So which one are they going to remove? How much information am I supposed to provide this third-party company for them to remove this stuff? And secondly, you're providing a third-party information. Like, why not do it yourself? Why put your trust of your personal data in some third party whose job is to make money? They're in the business of making money. I'm not. I'm just providing all the resources in a DIY style.
Time.
Sure. Time is one thing, but it's not efficient. Like, this is something that honestly requires 6 months to 9 months of work. Like, you do little by little, 5, 10 things a week maybe, and then some of them you need to come back and say, all right, it's been a week, have they removed it? No, let me do it again. So some things will take more time to do, but this is your own personal privacy. It took you years, maybe a decade, to get this stuff on the internet. You think 5 minutes or a month is enough to get it off the internet? No, it's gonna take time. So
no, I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here, right? So it's good that we have this discussion because that's the whole selling point. A lot of these companies, they say that they'll save you time because they're doing it for you, right?
But they're also doing a very small subset. All they're doing is removing some like 5, 10, 20 data brokers where maybe they have an automated process, fill out the form and whatever. But what I'm telling people is your information may be in 10 places on one website. So do your manual search, do your OSINT work, and I'm giving you links on how to do it and then how to remove it. But then once you're done with that low-hanging fruit, move on to the next thing. Like I have home privacy here, device privacy. Are these companies doing that? So like, for example, with your home, remove your stuff from maps. Like if you're on Google Street View, remember in my OSINT episode with you, we talked about like Street View and stuff. Yeah. You can remove yourself from Street View. But what about Bing Maps? Because as an investigator, I would look at Bing. I would look at Apple Maps.
Exactly.
Then I would look at Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Blockshopper, and there's probably more here. This is not a comprehensive list by any means. If you do at least this is what an investigator would look at. These are my 5 sources that I would potentially look at and then probably give up. So I'm giving you all those things that will give you the bang for your buck. Sure, this will take time, 5 minutes each, whatever. But then you'll be pretty much a ghost after this. People will be like, man, I've tried 10 different sources and I can't find a Street View version of this person's house. What is he doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's that whole argument, right? People say it takes time. But to be honest, cybersecurity or any kind of security and privacy are a hassle. And you've just got to bear with that, right? Yeah. If you want security, it's going to be a hassle. Like, why not just leave your doors open? Don't lock your doors. It's the same thing, right?
Yes, and some of these are techniques. Like a lot of people get a lot junk mail at their house. Yeah. A lot of these websites show you how to remove the junk that comes to your doorstep. And then things like people wouldn't expect. This is privacy for your home. Like companies won't do this for any dollar amount, like window tints. If you don't have window tints, people can actually do surveillance on your house and see what you're doing, where you are. Home security. I learned this from a crook actually, that if you put like home security signs on outside your house and it says home protected by whatever XYZ company, crooks look at it
like ADT or whatever, like security
ADT
company, right?
And stuff, and they just move on to the next house. I heard this in an interview by a thief. He's like, hey, we'll do a stakeout on the whole house and we'll avoid the houses that have cameras or ADT signs or whatever, simply because we don't want to take the risk, the chance, even if it's not true. We don't have time for that. We'll just go to the next house that isn't.
Your security just needs to be better than your neighbors. It's kind of like the
dummy camera thing. This actually works. When I was building my own house, I had just the rough structure up and ready. No power, no internet, nothing. I had lots of workers there. And my builder told me people steal a lot of stuff from your job site, and this is expensive equipment. So I put a $10 dummy camera, dome camera, which had a battery that blinked a red little light. And I just put it up in the front and the back, and the workers were there, and they're like, oh, you got cameras? I'm like, yep, I'm watching you. And they're like, man, this guy's like next level. There was no internet, there's no power, but still there was this perception of security. So those are the little techniques I teach which are effective. Like this works, that's why I'm putting it here.
That's great.
And these are all things, by the way, that I've tried and tested personally. So this is not something I heard on the internet and it may work. No, I've actually tried it either on myself or my friends or family and then put it on my website. So stuff like that, and then we kind of move on to more advanced stuff like things like planting your flag, the concept of claiming an account before the bad guys claim it.
Yeah.
So let's say you don't have a Facebook profile. Somebody actually once asked me this question on a talk that I gave. They were like, hey, I'm not on the internet. I don't have a bank account online. I walk into a bank. I don't have social media. I have nothing, so I can't be hacked. I'm like, you're even easier to hack because I can now impersonate you. I can claim all those accounts and then claim an online bank account of you and impersonate you and do online banking when you yourself don't have any accounts available online. And he's like, man, what should I do next? I'm like, start claiming those accounts and just keep them dormant. But and the types of account I ask to claim are government accounts usually. So in the US, you have like the IRS account or your DMV where you get your car plate number and registration, or the US postal system. If you don't have one, somebody else can actually get mail under your name and do mail forwarding because you didn't claim that account. So I've seen that happen.
That's so very different in the UK. It's very different to the UK. Go on, yeah.
Yeah, and these things actually work. So I'm like, just make an account, and if you've claimed it, when someone else tries to claim it on your property, they're like, oh, account already claimed. And like a validation email has been sent to whoever the owner is. And so whether you use it or not, at least claim those government accounts.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, stuff like that. There's a lot of personal accounts you can claim to, like UPS has this thing where you can get mail and like an email version of it before UPS actually delivers it to your doorstep. Well, if you don't claim it, someone else can. And if they've hacked into your email or put in a new email address, they'll get a copy of your mail and they'll know what packages you're getting. Hackers have done this. And I listen to that. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we should create accounts before they do. So techniques like that count. Also your domain name. Like I have MishaalKhan.com, so no one else can impersonate me.
Yeah.
Like you have DavidBombal.com.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should have their own full name. If it's taken, that's fine. But if it's not, someone can impersonate you. Maybe today you're a nobody, tomorrow you become a celebrity or someone known, and then somebody takes your domain name. It becomes a problem eventually. And then lastly, I kind of go through the process and say, if you really want to...
Is this ghost mode now?
Yeah, this is now ghost mode. If you really want to take it to the next level, you can create social media accounts and stuff about you and misinformation about you online where when you Google something, that stuff comes up. Like, let me give you an example here. So if I go on...
Yeah, so you don't just remove stuff, you just flood it with trash, basically.
Yeah. So if I go on Google, so if you type Mishaal Khan and already it's suggesting OSINT and stuff like that, and just write like wedding next to it. Let's say you can't find me, but you want to find my wife. So the first 3 results that come up are the ones that I've put on the internet, like my wedding with Jennifer Aniston, or me marrying Mary Jane Watson honeymoon, or something else here. So let's click on one of these, and you can see Jennifer Aniston in a Indian suit. But this is Mishaal Khan and Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Did you make this website?
Yeah. So these are all like public websites like honeymoonwishes.com. And there's actually a whole gallery here. Like this is like a, like sunny version of Spider-Man and whatever. But I've put this disinformation online. So if anyone's there looking for me, this is kind of what they get. And it's funny. It's all fun and games, but I'm trying to prove a point that I can control the first 3 results of the internet here. In fact, the entire page I can control if I put in a little bit more disinformation. But I could get to search result number 1. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is basically SEO hacking at this point where I'm using well-established companies like thenot.com. They have really high SEO ranking. I'm just putting my name on it so that if someone's looking me up with a keyword like wedding or marriage or wife or whatever, this stuff comes up. So I've done this so frequently with so many, and I've listed like all the websites you could do for wedding. What about all the ad-based websites? Like I can put classifieds, Craigslist ads about myself. And there's a tactic to this. Like I don't recommend everyone to do this. The way you do this is you have your real name with a fake address, or a real name with a fake phone number, or a real phone number with a fake name. So if anyone has any one of those pivot points about you, they're just led or misled in the wrong direction. So it's fun, it's useful, and I recommend to do this last. First, scrub your information, do all the other advice I give you. If you can't get stuff taken off the internet, like maybe a government record or a website that's just annoying, start doing this so that those results are pushed onto page 2 where you hide the dead bodies.
I like that. Yeah, because sometimes it's hard, like especially government stuff. You can't get rid of it easily.
Yeah, and then I have like more tips about copyright stuff. Like every time I'm trying to remove something from the internet, sometimes there's like a legal form you have to put in. So I have some of those things about trademark and Trellis, and like how do you report content on Google, or how do you remove stuff from DuckDuckGo, which is actually Bing, and all those links are here. Social media. A lot of people have problems on Instagram. They're like, how do I remove this post? Somebody copied my stuff on Instagram. How do I take it down? So I have all those copyright forms here. And these forms are sometimes pretty hard to get. Like if you click on this link here for Instagram, I still remember this link was not easy. It's like help.instagram.com. So many numbers. Like it took me a while to find this, but when I did, I put it on the website. I'm like, all right, this is how you remove content from Instagram. And the best part of this dashboard is, like, if you're having a hard time finding something, there's like a global search bar up there, and you can just start typing something. So it just narrows it down, and you're like, all right, what are you trying to
nice.
get to? So VPN or whatever. So I have a search functionality built in. As you can see, this is all over the place. This is holistic privacy management. And I do this for a living for my paying clients. Like I have clients who pay me to do this because, like you said, I don't have time to do this. For everyone else who can't afford me, it's free, because I believe privacy is a fundamental human right and everyone should have full unfettered access to protect their own information. And this is my gift to the community.
I love that. Thanks so much for doing this, because I mean, that's a lot of work. So your paying clients will pay you and you'll do this work for them.
Right. I'll do exactly this.
I'll just use some random example, but like a Tom Cruise or someone like that, they're going to rather just give you the money and then you do the work.
Right. If you know Tom Cruise, and you can hook me up with him, Sure. Yeah. But that's exactly it. Like,
Yeah.
I call them like high net worth clients who have the money but not the time
Yeah.
to do it, and they care about this. What I do is I'm like, I create that balance and say, I'm not going to make you disappear from the internet. That's not what you want. You want to keep your public persona, but you want to remove stuff like your kids' stuff, where they go to school, or your spouse's information, or your personal information like your phone, your email address, and stuff like that. These are things that will be exploited once they're out there, and they probably are. That's what they want to protect. So I actually joke and tell people that it's very easy to disappear from the internet, but it's very hard to keep that balance on keeping certain things public and certain other things private. That's the real challenge.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge I plan to solve with this resource.
For everyone who's watching, I've put links below. Mishaal, thanks so much for making this free. I mean, that is a huge thing. I mean, I can see this is not easy to keep going, because that's a lot of work. So thanks to your paying customers who like helping maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No, thanks so much for making this free. Really appreciate it. What else, or where else can people go if they want to get hold of you? Is it LinkedIn, or what's a good place?
Yeah, MishaalKhan.com. My website is something I own. So if any one of the other social medias ever gets banned, that's the central place that I kind of control the content from there. But I'm only active on LinkedIn for business purposes, so they can get a hold of me on LinkedIn, chat with me there.
I want to get you back though, because I want to talk about for another video. I think we need to get you back for like what phone you use, what laptop do you use, what operating systems do you recommend. So for everyone who's watching, put in the comments below, but I think we should definitely get you back for like system stuff, like best laptop for privacy, best phone for privacy, etc., etc. Brilliant, dude. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.